Hi everyone, I'm Richard Vince and welcome to another Brain Dojo broadcast. Um, something that I'd like to talk to you about today is the fact that we don't know enough to make a decision sometimes, often, very often. Sometimes we'll jump to a conclusion or we'll make a decision that's a bit hasty, and sometimes we just don't have enough information. It's very easy to make a decision about somebody else as well. Maybe somebody does something that we wouldn't do, or that is a surprise to us, and we can jump into this feeling of, oh, well, they must be this, or they must be that, or they must feel this, or they must feel that, and often we just don't know. We just don't have enough information to make that or to draw that conclusion. Let me tell you a story. I like this story. Now, it was told to me as the Chinese farmer story, but it could be any farmer in any country, really, or it could be applied in lots of different situations. But for the sake of honouring the story as it was told to me, I'll tell it to you the same way. So, there was this farmer. He had a farm. It's strange that for a farmer, right? Had this farm, and he had a horse. He had a few other animals, and his son worked the farm with him. He was married. He had a wife, and one day there was a big storm during the night, and the farmer came out in the morning, and his horse had gone. The gate had blown open on the field, and the horse had gone. And news got out about the farmer losing his horse, and all the people in the village, whoever he spoke to, said, "Oh, it must be dreadful. You must be so upset. Your horse has gone. You won't be able to pull your plough. You won't be able to move your produce around. You won't be able you won't have anything to pull your cart with. It must be dreadful for you. Your whole life must have fallen apart. It must be dreadful." And the farmer said, "Oh, maybe not. We don't know everything in life. Maybe we shouldn't get too upset about it. We'll see. Let's not get too upset about it." And everyone said, "Oh, how can you think like that? It's awful. It's the end of the world, or whatever." And the farmer said, "Maybe, we'll see." Anyway, a few days later, the farmer's horse returns with half a dozen other wild horses, and all these horses run into the enclosure where the original horse used to be kept. And the farmer sees them and closes the gate, and all of a sudden he now has 7 horses instead of 1. And all his neighbours, all the people who visit, all the people who go past his farm, they will stop and say, "Wow, you must be so excited. What a fantastic piece of good fortune. You're so lucky. You must be over the moon. You must be super excited." And the farmer says, "Well, we don't know. We don't know everything. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. We'll see. But let's just go with the flow, and we'll just do our normal things, and everything will be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine." Yeah, and then the people who he communicated with, it was like they couldn't believe he was so calm and laid back about everything. Anyway, a few days later, the farmer's son was trying to get one of the horses used to being ridden, and this horse threw him, and he broke his leg. The farmer's son broke his leg. Oh, well, when news got out, everyone was making a fuss. Everyone was saying, "Oh no, now your son's broken his leg. You'll have no help on the farm. How will you manage? You must be distraught. It must be awful for you. You've got these extra animals to manage. Now half of your workforce is out of action. It must be absolutely dreadful for you. However will you manage? However do you manage to keep things together? And the farmer said, well, we don't know everything. Maybe things will turn out okay. Let's not get too upset about it. Let's deal with the situation we have, and we'll see how it goes. Again, people in the village were like amazed by the guy's calmness and everything. Anyway, a few days later, the army come to the village and they recruit every able-bodied young man for the army to go off to war. And of course, the farmer's son has a broken leg. He's not able-bodied. He's not able to go off to war. And all the people in the village, his neighbours, everyone who goes past, they all comment and say, wow, you're so lucky. All these amazing things, this amazing thing happened to you. Many sons from the village were taken off to fight in the war, and your son, because of his broken leg, didn't have to go off and fight in the war. You must be so happy. You're so excited. And the farmer said, maybe, we'll see. We don't really know enough. Maybe something else has happened. And I'll leave the story there, but you can see the way it goes. The farmer has good fortune, bad fortune, good fortune, bad fortune, but he's calm. He doesn't allow it to completely devastate his life. He deals with whatever cards he's given, and he makes the best of it. He makes the most of the situation. And I think that's such a valuable story. Because it can, and if you look at the things that happen in his life, I know it's a made-up story, but if you look at the things that happen in his life, they're significant things, they're impactful things, and you just think, wow, if I'm sure the farmer probably wasn't real, and if he was real, he probably didn't have that sequence of things in that order. But that's not the point. The point is getting the moral of the story across, isn't it? We can deal with things much more successfully if we're calm, if we're together, if we step back and say, okay, well, let's see how this goes. The horse ran away, didn't panic. The horse came back, didn't get overexcited because, maybe it wasn't 100% good. Son broke his leg. So, you get the idea. And I think that's great, a great structure for life. When things happen, they are what they are. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that we can do to make them unhappen. We have to deal with the situation we have, and the more positive and the more creative we are in the way we look for solutions, the better we'll get on. And the more devastated, the more emotional, the more over the top we are, I think the less likely we are to be successful. All right, so there's the Chinese farmer story. I hope it's useful for you. I hope it gives you something to think about. And I hope you don't have anything quite as traumatic as the Chinese farmer in your life. But I hope it helps you to deal with those small things that could cause upset possibly. All right, lovely. I'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye.